Hello learners, welcome to the NIOS studio. I am Dr. Manisha Wadhwa from Aditi Mahavidyalaya, University of Delhi. Today's topic of presentation is using locally available resources in EVS. Before starting the topic, I will like you to think about what are resources. Resources are teaching learning resources which are charts, ready-made maps, globe, models, etc. which you use in classroom. In EVS, there are variety of resources and you can use a number of resources available around us. Let's look into these resources in EVS. First, there are community resources like a student in your class has father is a carpenter or a farmer or a health worker. You can invite these people from the community to your classroom. You can ask them questions, children can prepare a list of questions to be asked and then they can ask them questions and these people will become your community resources. Next category is institutional resources. Institutional resources include factory, museum, nurseries, mother dairy, post office or any other thing which is near your school or which is within the district of the school. Now, see how factory or museum or nursery or mother dairy or post office becomes a resource. For example, we take students to post office. Students will see what kind of people work in post office, what is their work, what do they sell, what are the stamps, how are stamps different from envelopes and what is written on stamps, what is a postcard. So, there are number of things children can learn from any institutional resources. For example, you take students to any milk plant where they package the milk. So, students observe how milk packets are made or you could take them to a candy factory where toffees are made and packed. So, they observe various process in that particular thing, that how a particular candy is made from mixing sugar and other flavors and then how it is packed. So, visiting any institution nearby school becomes an institutional resource. The other category of the resource is nature. As you all know, EVS is all around. So, nature as a resource is very powerful in EVS. Pond, garden, reserve forest, hills, rivers, oceans, grassland, they all become resources in EVS. It all depends where the school is located. For example, if school is located near a pond, then pond is a very interesting resource in learning EVS. There are various life form in the pond, there are various life form around the pond and students can observe number of things. So, you can see that any resource has multiple learning opportunities. It is the potential of the teacher how to utilize those learning opportunities. Then media is also a resource. Newspaper, you can use various newspaper clippings according to the topic you are taking. TV programs including science fiction, stories, movies, radio, films, magazine, they all become very interesting resources. Nowadays, TV and films have taken an edge over newspaper and magazines, but I am not saying that newspaper and magazines are not important. Newspaper and magazine are equally important and especially because newspaper and magazine, they encourage children to read. So, use some children magazines in classroom, encourage children to read, encourage children to solve puzzles in those magazines, encourage children to read cartoons there in the magazine. So, that kind of regular exercise will encourage children to participate in the interactions related to news and magazines. Nowadays, children watch a lot of TV programs, but as a teacher, you should promote interesting TV programs, educational TV programs, so that they learn from those programs. But definitely, it is a very powerful resource. Then coming to the next category of resources are technological resources, mobile, internet, camera, website and portals, they are all part of technological resources. Now we see that how they becomes resource in the classroom. Mobile, you can use mobile to record an audio of a chirping of birds or any other sound, and you can show it to children. You can encourage children to make their own videos using a mobile or a camera, and then they can share it with their friends in class. In an example I will like to share here, I asked my students that on a traffic signal we have 3 lights: red light, green light and yellow light. So what is the sequence of these lights on a traffic signal? Most of the students said that first if there is a red light, then after red light there will be yellow light, and after yellow light there will be green light. And surprisingly, all these students, they travel by buses and they come across these traffic signals every day, but none of them has ever known what is the sequence of those lights. So I asked them to stop on a traffic signal, get down from a bus and make video of that traffic signal for a minute. And after making that video and watching that video, they realized that they were wrong. It was green light, after green light is yellow, and then it is red. So you see that how mobile becomes an interesting resource in the classroom. Internet and mobile, they are also very interactive. You can use it and see what kind of information you can access through these. Then websites and portals are also resources in classroom. If you want to have some information about children's literature, you can explore the websites of Children Book Trust, National Book Trust, and see what kind of resources, storybooks are available for children. You can also explore websites of like NCERT and see what kind of storybooks are available, other supplementary books are available other than textbooks. After technology, let us see that what kind of different resources we have used. I am taking here an example of animal theme, and I have listed some activities. For the animal theme, children were asked to observe animals around and they were asked to record their observation. So what is this kind of resource? Yes, it is a natural resource, they are observing it. Then talking to a pet owner or a vet doctor. So this become a community resource. Doctor and pet owner are part of the community. As a teacher, you have invited them to your classroom and children ask their questions. They ask questions to satisfy their curiosity. So pet owner or doctor, vet doctor become a community resource for that particular concept in the classroom. Then you can take students to a vet clinic or a dispensary nearby. Then visiting that clinic or dispensary become an institutional resource, and they can observe what kind of animals come there, how many animals in a day are there, how do nurses and doctors treat those animals. So it becomes an institutional resource. Then watching a videos on animal, this becomes a media resource. Reading a newspaper clipping about animals, on animals, how we can take care of animals. So it becomes, these two becomes media resource. Searching different breeds of dog on internet, this becomes a technological resource. So you can see that for any theme we can use different kinds of resources in EVS. Now moving further, what are these locally available resources? Any material which is around ourselves, whether it is a pen, a chair, pebble, whatever it is, it becomes a resource in itself. Even waste materials like old newspapers, invitation card, discarded ice cream cups or sticks can become resource in EVS. If you collect all this, this can be a treasure of teaching learning material for creative teachers. Let's take an example of how pebbles can become a resource in EVS. We see pebble all around. You can encourage children to collect pebbles. After they collect pebbles, you can ask them to categorize it. They can categorize it as they want. Some children may categorize pebbles according to the shape, some may categorize according to the size, some may categorize according to the color. So, they can arrange it according to their own choice. So, what purpose is served by this collection? They can recognize shapes, sizes and sequences. They know that variety of pebbles and rocks are found in nature. So, though we are calling them pebbles, but there is a variety in that. Similarly, in other example, a collection of leaves. Do not ask them to pluck leaves, ask them to collect fallen leaves, then they can organize and classify the collection of leaves. They can group it either according to shape, size, texture or appearances, and they can even make herbarium of leaves. They can preserve leaves and make a collection for a longer, which can stay with them for a longer duration. Now, what kind of purpose is served by this collection? They can develop skills of classification. They can enhance observation skills. If child is classifying leaves according to shapes and he has classified leaves, you can also encourage the child to think of some other criteria of classification, and then child can think and classify leaves on some other criteria. So, by classifying it on some other criteria, child is observing carefully those leaves, and that will enhance her or his observation skills. They will learn about diversity in the plant world. Let us see an inquiry into an everyday material. This inquiry is about the chair. What material is the chair made of? Where could this material come from? What is the cost and life of the chair? Is the material biodegradable? What will ultimately happen to the material when the chair is discarded? So, what purpose is served by this kind of inquiry? They learn about manufacturing process, they know about materials and plastics, they are exposed to the concept of life of an object, that is, nothing is going to stay forever, everything has a life. So, what will be the approximate life of that particular chair? What do they think? And they can ask their elders and ask them what can be the life of a particular chair. They know about different waste materials and their treatment. A teacher must have the knowledge and skills to identify, develop and use local learning resources. Any ideas can arouse children's intellectual curiosity and lead them to explore, reflect and construct their own knowledge and understanding. As a teacher, your role is to encourage them to think, to reflect upon how they worked and consolidate learning as it emerges. Let us take another example of a bicycle, how a bicycle can become a locally available resource in EVS. Let us see what we can explore from a bicycle. Bicycle has more than 50 parts. Identify and list them. Find out why it does not move in reverse when the pedal is moved backwards. Put the cycle on a stand. Move the pedal vigorously. What is the maximum time you can get the rear wheel to keep moving freely? You can use a stopwatch or a mobile to find that, to calculate the duration of that cycle. Then get on to the cycle, paddle away vigorously. For how long can you ride without needing to pedal again? Find out how different people use a cycle as part of their lives and livelihoods. You know what kind of people use it, how many children in your colony use bicycle, what kind of models of bicycle they are using, how bicycle is important for life and livelihoods of the people. For them it is a mode of transport from their home to factory or from their home to their workplace. What are the different kinds of sounds you can produce from a cycle? For example, rubbing, scratching of the tires, clinging the chain, and what are the words could be used to describe these actions and sounds. All these sounds are different, but how can you differentiate one sound to another sound? What kind of word can be used for one particular sound, and what kind of word can be used for another sound? So, all these things becomes a part of inquiry in any classroom. It depends on the teacher how she wants to use it in the classroom. These locally available resources are all around. You can just see and decide what you want to use as a resource. In one of my classroom, a student of mine, she asked students to collect different kinds of coins. Then in her classroom, coin became a resource. Children, they collected different coins which were there in the earlier times, which were there at the time of independence, and now they are not there, or coins or notes which have come later on. So, any collection can become a resource in the classroom. What are the advantages of these locally available resources? Let us see. Number 1, using local resources, teacher can help students to construct their own knowledge, develop skills and values, providing them direct learning experience. Now, for example, taking example of a collection of a pebble or collection of a stamp or collection of a coin. In all these collections, their observation skills are enhanced. In all these collections, children were asked to classify it. So, their classification skills are enhanced. After classification, they can describe what they have done. So, their expression skills are enhanced. They can draw a collection. They are expressing through drawing. They can discuss what they have learned. So, they are expressing through oral presentation. So, any kind of collection will help children to enhance their skills, and collection is also providing them the direct learning experience. It is not, collection is not collected by somebody else. It is their own collection, it is their own treasure. So, they have a direct experience of handling that material. So, they can learn from that resource. With the help of local resources, teacher can build strong relationship with the society and neighboring community. For example, if a student is asked to collect different kinds of utensils, different kinds of utensils used for cooking. Children can bring utensils from their houses. Children can visit some other community and see what kind of utensils they are using for cooking. They can bring it to the classroom. They can bring pictures of those utensils to the classroom. So, not only within their own family or society they are doing it, they are also moving to neighboring communities. So, children coming from different communities can bring their their pictures, what kind of different utensils are used in classroom. So, family, society and communities, they are, as they help in building resources for EVS classroom. So, this kind of exercise also develop a strong relationship with the society. Students can connect to the world around them through their studies and vice versa, means that world around them can also connect them to EVS. It becomes a part of learning. Students will become aware of their immediate environment. For example, if they have gone to a nearby pond which is there next to the school, but they have not closely observed that pond. But as part of EVS inquiry, if pond is my local available resource and students have gone to visit that pond, they will learn number of things. Other than learning from flora, fauna, which means plants, animals and other microorganisms around that, insects and creatures around that pond, they will also observe that whether it is clean or not, whether people throw litter or not, is water clean, are fishes there, or how at different times of the year, how that life forms changes. So, pond becomes an important resource and students are connected to that immediate environment. If they observe that people are throwing litter, they become sensitive towards it and they can even start a campaign that please do not litter around this pond because plastic or other things are going into water and polluting water and also polluting the life, also affecting the life forms around the pond. So, it is very important to connect to the immediate environment, and this local available resource helps students to connect to the immediate environment. Next, students will be sensitized towards the conservation of their immediate environment. For example, there is a nearby park. Group of students, they go to that park and they observe trees periodically. After every month they go and observe. They make their record ki what are the changes happening in these plants. You know, different groups observe different plants or trees carefully and they make their own observation record. Are there flowers? If there are flowers, which color is there? Flowers are of which color? How many petals are there? Are there leaves? Our leaves are dried? How many leaves are there on the tree? So, they have an observation record of July, they have observation record of September, observation record of December, then February, then March. So, over the year they can observe that how that plant or tree is changing. If that plant or tree is giving some fruits, what is that time when fruit is there. So, doing such activities, children are sensitized towards their environment, immediate environment. For example, if children are taken to a nearby farm where there is rice farming, so children can observe, you know, how much effort goes into growing rice. They can see that how, you know, saplings are taken from nursery and planted in the field, how much water is there, how hard is the life of the farmer. This is one time, and after that they can also go at the time of harvesting and see how that particular crop is harvested, and after harvesting where it goes and how does it come to us. So, starting from growing growing in the field to the market and then it coming back to us. So, by using such locally available resources, students not only become sensitized towards their environment, but they also become aware that how difficult it is. Probably they will learn not to waste food. Probably they will realize how how much difficulties are faced by farmers in growing such crops. So, why should we waste food? So, they will learn and they will become sensitive. So, locally available resources are very important in EVS for developing sensitivity. So, now let us summarize that educational resources can be developed for EVS teaching without requiring big budget and expensive material. You see that without, if my ice cream sticks are my resource in the classroom, so for that I do not need big budgets, I only need a collection of ice cream sticks. If bottle caps are the resources which I use in EVS, then I encourage children to do not throw bottle caps, but collect bottle caps. So, within 15 days there may be a number of bottle caps which can be used for various classification activities or various other kinds of grouping activities or labeling activities. So, it becomes an locally available resources. So, for this I do not require big budgets, I do not need money to buy expensive charts, it is there in my environment. There are major second point which I want to summarize is that there are major category of resources that are around us, that is community resources, family members of the children or any other elder in the community becomes a resource, children themselves are resource, natural environment, technology, media, they all become resources in the EVS. If a teacher plans to use these things systematically, then learning in EVS can be enhanced, interaction with the environment can be enhanced and children can learn lot of things from these resources. The last point which I will like to summarize here is that educational resources can be created using simple things and material around us. We need not buy big expensive charts or very fancy models. Learning can happen through these locally available resources like pebbles, like stamps, like leaves, or even a glass tumbler can become a resource. And you have also seen that how bicycle can become a resource and how you can ask number of questions using a bicycle. So, using these locally available resources, you can enhance learning of children, you can increase their skills, and EVS learning can become fun. Thank you so much.
प्रकाशित करने राहों को आलोकित करने, हम अपना दीपक स्वयं बने, हम अपना रास्ता स्वयं चुने। हम अपना दीपक स्वयं बने, हम अपना रास्ता स्वयं चुने। जीवन ये प्रकाशित करने राहों को आलोकित करने।
धन साधन समय की सीमा से विद्यालय जो मुक्त हो, धन साधन समय की सीमा से विद्यालय जो मुक्त हो।
कभी पढ़े हम कहीं पढ़े वे विषय की लोच से युक्त हो,
कभी पढ़े हम कहीं पढ़े वे विषय की लोच से युक्त हो।
मित्रों हम उठे और जागे,
मंजिल आने की ध्वनि सुने, हम अपना दीपक स्वयं बने, हम अपना रास्ता स्वयं चुने।
जीवन ये प्रकाशित करने राहों को आलोकित करने।
राष्ट्रीय मुक्त विद्यालय का है द्वार खुला सबकी खातिर। शिक्षा परीक्षा का अवसर एक बार ही क्यों मिलता फिर।
शिक्षा और परीक्षा का अवसर एक बार ही क्यों मिलता फिर